Right, so first time I've done a video, just thought I'd give something new a little bit of a go. So what we've got here is I've got two of the hanging ceramic decorations from Hobbycraft. So they're glazed already. The other thing I've got is some infusible ink from Cricut, and I've also got some laminating sheets that have been cut out. So what I'm going to do, because I've seen online that there is a way of making something that is not already a sublimation blank into a sublimation blank. Now, I don't do lots of infusible ink. I love using my Cricut machine. It's absolutely amazing. I have lots of fun doing that, but I don't do lots of infusible or lots of iron-on stuff. But I thought I'd give this a little bit of a go and see what happens. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try doing one without using the laminating sheet, and then I'm going to do one using the laminating sheet and just see what difference it does make to what we're doing. So just get rid of these at the moment. Okay, and we'll just use that one to start with. So what we're going to do, what I use when I'm doing any of my vinyls and using those to rub in, is I'll have rubbing alcohol. I have a reusable makeup sheet, and then I've put my rubbing alcohol into a beautician's bottle so that I can pump and just get a small amount onto my makeup sheet. And then I'm just going to make sure that this is nice and clean before I try and iron on the infusible ink to this. Now, I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a go anyway. And then I've got some just baking parchment that I'm going to use here for that. So let me just get my thing. So I've already cut this out. I've already checked the design. I didn't quite get my star in the right place, but that's absolutely fine. I'm going to push that on. Happy with that. And then I'm just, bear with me, I forgot my scissors. I'm just going to put some heat resistant tape down onto this as well, just to hold it. I'm going to put it onto the mat just to hold it there. As you can see, I don't do this on a regular basis. Kind of making this up as I go along. Okay, now because I don't do this on a regular basis, I don't actually have one of the Cricut irons, so I'm just using my quilting iron for this. So we're just going to do that, and we're going to put that on, and we're going to go, oops, I'm just going to open that out a little bit. Okay, and we're just going to do this. Okay. Now, what would have been sensible would have been to go onto the Cricut Design heat guide. So what would have been sensible here would have been to go onto the heat guide, and then I would have had the timings for how long I need to be doing this for. But I wasn't sensible on that one, so we'll have to do that when we get to do the next one. Okay, so we just do that. I'm just going to have a little peek and see if I think it's looking like we might be somewhere to being there. No, you're not really meant to do this, but there we go. Let's try again a little bit longer. Now, I'm sure lots of you are shouting at me going, what are you doing? But as I said, this is not what I normally do. So this is just a bit of a play, mainly because I'm not very well at the moment, and I just thought I could try something new and something different to see how we're going. There we go. Now, the other thing is we have no idea exactly what temperature this iron is at. It says it's on maximum. I don't know what that is on an iron. And I haven't got a means of checking that out really. So there we go. So I'm going to leave that like that for now. I'm quite happy with that. So we're just going to see. So I'm going to check off for now. I'm going to let that cool. I'll then, when it's cool, come back to you and we'll see where we're at. Hi guys, so we're back. So this is nice and fairly cool to touch. So I'm going to have a go at peeling this off. So let's just lift this up, oops, and see where we go. So obviously there has been a bit of transfer, not as much as you'd expect. The star definitely has come out quite nicely compared to the others, but we've got lots of infusible ink still left on here. Now, if I rub it, it doesn't come off, actually. Oh, actually it is beginning to come off. Let's see what happens if I use my, yeah. So the minute I try and clean that off, it comes off. So that's not going to stay on. Okay, so what we're going to do, going to take that off and we'll just clean this completely. There we go. So there's a little bit there, but it hasn't quite fully worked. So not using something that is infusible, that is a sublimation blank, that's going to take the infusible ink or sublimation, is not going to work. Now, I have seen a video. Now, I don't know whether the video, it seemed to work on the video, but whether it actually works or not, I don't know. So that is why I showed you the laminating sheets. So the video I saw, what they did is they used a laminating sheet to adhere to the tile, was what I actually saw it being used on, and then they ironed that on, and then what they then did is they then got their infusible ink, and then what they did was they then ironed that on top of that, and it seemed to treat it as if it was a sublimation blank. So that's what I want to test out and see. So we've seen that you can't just use it straight onto a standard tile that hasn't had that treatment to enable it to be a sublimation blank. So I've already cut this out using the Cricut machine, so it's the right size. So I'm just going to pop that on there. I'm going to cover it up again. Now, what I can't remember is how long they did this for. So what I'm just going to do is have a good guess. Now, what it said, now that I've actually got the heat guide up, is on the heat guide, into a sublimation blank coaster, you need to be doing your heat for 5 minutes on 300, sorry, I'm on a different page at the moment, 360 degrees. Now, as you can see, I haven't got a Cricut heat press. As I said before, it's because I very rarely do much. I do when I'm doing inspiration for work, but at home I generally don't do much iron on or infusible ink. I'm much more into using the papercraft side of things for the Cricut machine. I do quite a lot of card making, and I have to say, when I first got my Cricut machine, what I did do was I labelled absolutely everything I could possibly label using the vinyls, and I've really enjoyed doing that. So let's just see how this is going. So let's just see, I'm not going to be silly and use my fingers and see if that's stuck on with my fingers. So that looks quite good. So the seems to have stuck on quite well. Just do a little bit longer onto that. Okay, so that now has got the nearly did. So that has now got the laminating sheet onto it. Now I can see there's a lot of bubbles in there, so I might just need to go over this again to try and make sure that it totally sticks to what's going on underneath. Let's just see how that goes. So it might just need to leave you with me at the moment, and we'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. So it has still got bubbles in, so haven't been able to get it completely smooth. I don't know how well you can see that on, oops. I don't know how well you can see that, but there are still some little bubbles in there. Ow, so it's quite hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the one we've just used, so there is still ink on that, so we can use that one again, so I'm not wasting. I'm a great believer in not being wasteful. Okay, oops. I'm also like to get things nice and carefully on, so there we go. So now that is then going to stick onto that, and let's see whether or not this does actually work. I'm going to be amazed if it does, but we'll give it a go. So, I can't believe that my iron is up to 360 degrees, but we can do the 5 minutes and see where we go from there. So let me just start, and I'll press my timer for 5 minutes. So let that go, and then we'll just see how this works and see whether or not you can actually do that. Now, whether there is a trick for being able to get the laminating sheet nice and smooth underneath, or whether it matters once you've actually infused it, whether you see that or not, I don't know. So I'll see you again in 5 minutes. Hi, so we're back. So had time to cool and everything. So I'm already seeing what I've seen when I've done infusible ink before, that you can see around the outside of your cutout the colour, and also it's lifting, and it wasn't doing that before. So let's see if we do this together what happens. Wow, okay, so I didn't think that was going to work, but it has. That's really amazing. Can you see? So, and because of the extra pressing, it has, where the trees are, pressed out the bubbles. There are still a few bubbles, but there you go. So what I did whilst we're waiting for that, I have done another one. There's a lot less bubbles on this one, and the difference with this one is what I did was, rather than moving the iron around, I just kept the iron still on one place. So I think I'm going to have another go. I'm really surprised. What I haven't done, we haven't done the alcohol rub test. So if we just do the alcohol rub, hang on, make sure it's got some on. That ain't coming off. There we go. That hasn't come off at all. Now the difference might be that might over time lift, but I don't know. I don't think it will. So let's just see. Okay, this might win me round to using infusible ink. We'll see. So we'll just pop this other one on and stick that down. Just get some tape. And we'll do this one. So I have to say, I'm quite pleasantly surprised by this. As for my design, what I did was I just found found a Christmas tree that I liked, and then what I did was I resized the Christmas tree to make 3 Christmas trees. So I made a small one, a narrower one, but that was a bit taller, and then I combined them all together to make the one design. Got a star, sized it so that it was able to go above the tree, taking into account the fact that this is a hanging item, and that was my design, and then combined all of that together. So I'm going to just iron this, so I'll see you back in another 5 minutes. So hi, back again. Let's see how this one's worked then. So excellent. So I would say that, that has been a complete success. So I wish I could credit who it was that I watched, but I can't remember who the person was that I watched. I've obviously not quite ironed that in the right place enough, but I'm basically happy with that. So what I've done with this one to get through, I've used my craft knife, and then I've just gone round the hole very carefully to make sure that we don't have that there. And let me, not put that there, because we don't want that on the on my quilting ironing mats. Okay, so that's just done the other side, because whilst I've been waiting for it all to cool, I've done the inside as well, done the other side as well. And if the observant of you would have heard that the Cricut machine was busy in the background, and I'll just get that for you and show you what I'm doing. I'm not doing very well here, and then I need to do the same on that one. So we just go around carefully and cut out that bit, and then we have that as well. So that's that. So as you can see, what I've done is I've put the laminating sheets on the other side of those ones as well. So that is now ready to receive the next bit. So bear with me. Hi, so we're back. So we've got our two ceramic baubles, for want of a better word for using, that are done. That we've used the laminating sheet on both of them because it didn't work on just a basic ceramic tile without having those laminating sheets on first. So we've done that. Then what we've done on the back is I've done the laminating sheet on the back again because I want to then put a message on the back of each of these. So what we've got is using the Cricut infusible ink pens, or any other sublimation pen will do as well. I've done a little design either side and I've written Christmas wishes. So what you have to do, which I usually forget to do, is make sure that you reverse any design that you've done, because we are going to be flipping it and we want it to be the right way around when we iron it on. The other thing I've done is coloured in key bits that I wanted to colour in. So the berries I've coloured in, the holly leaves I've coloured in, but I've left the rest blank. So then what we're going to do, I'm going to flip that over, put that on there, and get some more tape. I've lost my scissors. Where have I put my scissors? There we go. Got my scissors back now, and I'm just going to tape that down so we don't lose that. And again, this is going to be a decent length of time, so I'm going to have to do 5 minutes again for this. So what I'm going to do is just show you how I'm going to do the prep, then I'm going to do the 5 minutes ironing, and then I'll come back to you. So there we go. Make sure it doesn't move, make sure you're happy with where it is. That's now all ready, and we'll see you again in 5 minutes. Hi guys, so I'm back. So let's have a look and see how we've got on and see how this has gone. So let's just pull that one back. Okay. So that has definitely not worked as well. Let's see on this one. Oh, and that one definitely hasn't. Okay. So what have we learned? Let's have a look and see. So I think the first thing I would say is make sure that when you have put your sublimation or infusible ink sheet or pen sheet, that you make sure you secure it, because obviously this is moved in my ironing, so you can see the little errors there where it's moved. The other thing I would say is from using an iron point of view, definitely think if you're going to be doing lots of this, it will be much better for you to use a heat press of some sort. I think even using the mini heat press, because you're having to move it, things move and it's just not quite giving that even temperature. So I think if you're going to do this on a regular basis, actually having one of the presses that you can put down and have that even temperature across all of it is going to work much better for you. I'm not sure whether this has not worked because I haven't given an even pressure with the temperature, because this has worked quite nicely here. The actual tile itself is not completely flat and smooth, so I've not been able to get the heat as evenly onto this little bit here. But on the other side, obviously that's worked really, really well with the infusible ink sheets. So I'm really pleased. What it has shown is that you can just take a normal ceramic blank that's been a gloss blank, put this laminating sheet onto it, heat press it on, and then use your infusible ink after that, or your sublimation inks after that, and it takes really, really nicely. So, you know, to use it, for me, I bought a whole lot of laminating sheets. I used it when I was doing a lot of stitched cards and also a lot of iris folded cards. So I was laminating the small bits that I was using as my templates just so I could use them over and over again, but I've got quite a lot left over. So for me, that's not going to be a big expense because I've got leftover ones. So for me, it's just a case that I buy the much cheaper blank that I can then put the laminating sheets onto and then have a go with. So the only thing I might consider investing in is, if I was going to do a lot of this, would be a heat press. But overall, I'm really chuffed with those. Hopefully that's been quite an informative video for you and you found that a really useful bit of information, and we'll see where we go. All right, thank you for listening in. I'm hoping to start doing a few more videos of some of the other things that I do, be that cricket or crochet or card making, sewing, and many other things that at this moment in time, as I'm full of the cold, I'm not remembering. So I'm Heather from H by H Crafts. If you like what you've seen, give me a thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. And look out for any videos that I will be doing in the future. All right, take care. Bye. Hi guys, I've just thought I'd do a quick check back in with you. So what I've been able to do is, as you can see, that this is one of the blanks that we did, and it didn't work on the back. So what I was able to do, I needed to put a bit of pushing of my nail underneath, but you are able to take off that laminating sheet. It takes quite a bit of effort to get it off, but once you get going, you can then get a good hold and you can get rid of that line. So if you do make a mistake and it doesn't work, you can get out of it. So I'm able to take that off the back, and then all I did was, again, using my trusty rubbing alcohol and my makeup sheet, I was able to then go over the top of that. You can take the glue off from the laminating sheet, and then you can hide all the mistakes that were made earlier. So there we go. So that's now, oops, a little bit there. That's now all the glue taken off the back. But what it did then allow me to see was you can do it, and you are able to undo any mistakes that you've made, but it does take a little bit of effort to get that laminating sheet off. So I just thought you might like to have that update. All right then, so bye from Heather from H by H Crafts. Catch you later.